The way in which I got into taking care of individuals with HIV actually is a combination of two life stories of my own. The first one was that I went to a meeting this was, I guess maybe 1982, 83, in which a person from the Centers for Disease Control said that there were going to be 1 million people with this disease in the year 2000. And at that time, this was a 100% fatal disease. And what occurred to me was that my oldest daughter, my only child at the time, was going to turn 18. She would graduate from high school in the year 2000. And I thought about this and said, as a parent, given the way this disease is transmitted and the issues confronting it and the outcome at the time, what do I do to help prevent or protect my child from becoming infected? And that really was the beginning of my interest in looking at HIV. Because at the time, this was a disease that wasn't even called HIV. It was 100% fatal. And this was an issue that, as a father, how do I protect my child or address this issue that maybe she has to confront at some point in her life? The second thing that compelled me about this disease was when I was in my training, and there was a young man who had been diagnosed with lymphoma, which is a kind of cancer. We diagnosed him as being HIV positive. And at that point in time, this was at a place where we didn't know very much about this disease. We would get dressed up in what amounted to hazmat suits in order to even go in to see someone who was dying for the most part with this disease in the hospital. And I watched for a couple of days that every day the dietary people would come and would leave his food on his tray outside of the room. This man couldn't raise up in the bed, let alone get up and go and get the food. And after 3 days of that, I decided that that didn't make any sense to me. So I went, appropriately garbed myself, and went in and took him his lunch. I had colleagues, I had instructors who were, why would you do that? And my answer was, because he can't get it himself. 25 years later, the reason that I continue to do this is because many of those same issues have evolved, but it's still about the fact that people deserve to be treated humanely and appropriately.